book is promoted as specific coffee. Hi there. Hi, hello friends and strangers. Welcome back to Pam Shenanigans, and today is a very important video because I've recently read a book that blew my mind and I absolutely loved, that it deserves a review video on its own. I feel like this video won't even do it justice, or just writing a simple review on Goodreads or Storygraph won't do it justice as well. So here we are. And I have my fan because I didn't turn on my electric fan because it's gonna be chaotic. So I have my fan here. I'm here to talk about Iron Widow by Xiran Jay Zhao. It's such a masterpiece, I don't even know where to start, which is a lie because I wrote a script for this video because I know I have such a chaotic mind for this review. So let's start with a quickie. So in short, I highly recommend this book. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. I wish I could give it 6 or 10 out of 5 stars. It's such an amazing book, and the fact that it mentions nipple eyes. This fucking dog just heard nipple eyes and started barking. It kind of agrees with me. Okay, so I read Iron Widow and it's such a masterpiece. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I definitely fucking loved it. And that's it. That's the review. Goodbye. See you on my next video. Okay, I'm kidding. So let's start with like a quickie blurb of the book. What Iron Widow is about. If you haven't seen or heard about it yet, which I kind of doubt if you're on book Twitter. In a world where giant Chinese myth-inspired war machines called chrysalises, powered by chi from a male and female pilot, is needed to fight the aliens beyond the Great Wall. Our main girl, Zetian, fuck, I can't even pronounce it right. I'm so sorry. Our main girl, Zetian, is off to get revenge on the male pilot who consequently killed her older sister that served as the pilot's concubine. So, the whole thing with Iron Widow, with the chrysalises, aka the war machines, the mecha, it needs a male and female pilot in order to power the chrysalis, in order to function and kill the aliens. So they call the women concubines, and these concubines die because of the mental strain of the fighting when they use their chi during the fighting. So moving on, writing. The writing is impeccable. It's fucking good. It evokes so much emotion from the reader, especially from someone who can relate to our main character, Zetian, who struggles with misogyny and going against the odds with a family and a society that's hell-bent on using women for men's gain and power. Moving on to my main review slash plot. The plot is centered around Zetian's thirst for revenge on the chrysalis pilot that killed his sister, who was a concubine for the said pilot, as mentioned. But it's way more than that. I was surprised when that happened, as in the revenge plot happened early on in the book, and I was like, hold up, what else is gonna happen? Because Zetian already got her revenge, so what else is gonna happen after this? And I was like, I'm kinda scared. Mom, pick me up, I'm scared. The series of events that happened after that was distressing as much as it was compelling. Of course, the people around Zetian had varying reactions to her not only killing the pilot, but also being able to survive the battle. As I mentioned, it was a known fact early on in the book that women who were used as concubines for this war machines to get their chi, in order for the male pilots to do their shit, and it's a life sentence for the concubines. But again, not our main bitch, Zetian. People were angry, disgusted, amazed, intimidated, scared, and empowered by of seeing such a force of power, especially from a female. I think one of the things that I love the most about the story is how the more it progressed, the more unhinged and power-hungry Zetian gets. And I absolutely inhaled that fucking shit. She's such a strong female character that you'll find yourself rooting for her killing people. And it sounds wrong out of context, but you'll definitely get what I mean when you read Iron Widow. So that kind of says a lot about the writing of the characters generally as well. The ending had so much that happened with twist after twist after twist. I couldn't get enough of it. Another thing that I loved about this book is that while on the surface it sounds like a revenge story for Zetian, but again, it was made way more than that. There are bigger things that come into play, like this confining gender roles that society, mostly patriarchal, play a huge part in almost every aspect of the book. How the whole piloting system was established, and of course, another thing I really loved about the book is the found family aspect of it. Outside of the searing polyamorous relationship also built in the story, I love that it delved into the emotions more than the sexual relationship aspect. It was just written so fucking well that I want to hear more about their feelings. But yeah, also kiss and make out here and there, I won't complain. I don't speak for the accuracy of the depiction of polyamory in the book though, but I did find it very interesting. One quote about this whole relationship that stayed with me even after reading it is, "He's secure enough to know it's not a competition, that any feelings I have for you don't cancel out the ones I have for him. He's okay with however close you and I get. He's just saying that. No, there's something he told me. Love can be infinite as much as your heart can open, and my heart is open to you." I'm like, wow, that line's so beautiful. It's like, it gives a very interesting perspective, or it gives a very interesting meaning into a polyamorous relationship outside of the things that people generally think about polyamorous relationship, like, why can't you just choose one partner, or like, is that cheating, or like, who do you love more, this one or this one? So it's way more than that, and I love that representation in this book. I think the thing that would make me love this book even more, if that's possible, more than I do now, is getting a few chapters from Ximin and Yizhi, the two other main characters in the book. The book is promoted as specific The book is promoted as Pacific Rim meets The Handmaid's Tale, and I kind of agree. Yeah, like Pacific Rim for the mecha sci-fi aspect of the book, and The Handmaid's Tale for the sacrificing of girls for the greater good, aka only for men. When I finished this book, I immediately wanted to buy a physical copy, scream into the void, read it again, and scream again about the book. This book made me so frustrated, angry, godded, and ruminating about gender roles and the misogyny that is so ingrained in the book, but how it also reflects in a different way and context the misogyny and gender roles that we have or is prevalent in our world. So, do I recommend you to read this book? Fuck yeah! It's been a while since I felt this strongly, so strongly towards a book. So I hope you trust me enough to at least add this to your TBR because it's extremely worth it. Now, I am going to move to some quotes from the book because I feel like people also tend to be interested in books or add them to their TBR or ultimately purchase them because they saw a line or a few lines from the book that they found interesting. So let me read some. Female. That label has never done anything for me except dictate what I can or cannot do. No going anywhere without permission, no showing too much skin, no speaking too loudly or unkindly or at all if the men are talking. No living my life without being constantly aware of how pleasing I am to the eye. No future except pushing out son after son for a husband or dying in a chrysalis to give some boy the power to reach for glory. Another. There's no such thing as karma. Or if it does exist, it sure doesn't give a shit about people like me. Some of us were born to be used and discarded. We can't afford to simply go along with the flow of life because nothing in this world has been created, built, or set up in our favor. If we want something, we have to push back against everything around us and take it by force. Another? But I have no faith in love. Love cannot save me. I choose vengeance. Just reading this is making me so hyped because when I was reading it, I was like, I would pause for a few seconds and I'd be like, you know that meme with the, yeah, that's me. Another. It's hilarious. Men want us so badly for our bodies, yet hate us so much for our minds. Oh, her mind. Another. Bomb-ass quote. Love doesn't solve problems. Solving problems solve problems. No shit. I can't stop talking about this book. So, another. You endure and endure, and for what? As long as you keep appeasing them, keep letting them get their way. What? Why would they ever get better? Violence gets them everything they want, and then what is there in the end but death? How do you take the fight out of half the population and render them willing slaves? You tell them they're meant to do nothing but serve from the minute they're born. You tell them they're weak. You tell them they're prey. There is no one. The masses are more obsessed with railing at than the women who dare to stray from the docile ideal of wives and mothers. Too vain? People like my father curse at those women. Too self-obsessed? Too devious? Getting everything they want by draining men dry. Another one. Maybe we're devalued precisely because we're so valuable. The world is too afraid of not being able to obtain and control us to respect our true worth. Okay, last two lines. I promise, last two lines. Redemption story, they said. There will be no redemption. It's not me who is wrong. It's everyone else. I wish I had the balls to say that out loud. Last one. This world does not deserve my respect. It is not worthy of my kindness or compassion. That's such a big dick energy. I fucking love it. I inhaled this shit from Zetian and fuck, I just love it so much. I love it so much. And after learning that this book is kind of inspired, not a retelling, but inspired by historical events, particularly Empress Wu, who is the only female emperor in Chinese history, it's making me want to read about her because I feel like there are so many badass events or moments that Empress Wu also did in order to become the first and only female emperor in China. To recommend or not recommend, I highly recommend this book. Highly recommend this book. It's easily one of my top favorites of 2021 and my top favorite book of all time, and that's saying a lot. Like, not that I'm an authority or whatever when it comes to like amazing books, but it's just my personal preference, and I highly recommend this to, especially to people who are into sci-fi fantasy, specifically those looking into reading mecha kind of genre or book, and those who want to see or read a highly strong female character or lead in a book. And that's Iron Widow for you. Again, please pick this book up. I fucking loved it. It's so good. It uses the words nipple eyes, and this is still my fucking favorite book of the year and one of my favorite books of all time. That's saying a lot. I also recommend reading the audiobook. It's also an amazing accompaniment when you're reading with your eyes. So, audiobook, amazing. Fucking amazing narration, really fucking good. I don't know what else to say except to pick this book up or add it to your TBR. I hope you got some insightful things from this review, aside from me highly recommending it and mentioning nipple eyes for like the third time. That's it, friends and strangers. I hope you got something from this review, or that you stuck around until the end, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.